This week on The Riff, Martz and Drew talk about pastors. Who are they? And are you one? Well, if I'm one, I hope I don't have to quit my day job. We hope today is helpful. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to The Riff. The Riff!
Welcome back. Back again.
Shady's back.
The Riff's back.
Yeah,
Tell a
back
friend.
again. Tell a friend. That's a whole Eminem, right?
That's it. Yeah. No, I didn't want to throw out my reference. It's just, if you get it, you get it.
We don't get too many cultural references, though. We're not aligned most of the time.
That's very true.
Yeah.
You will shout out a movie quote, and I'm like, I just don't know it.
Yeah.
I do feel like I shout out movie quotes, and you get it, though. So
Depends on, I don't know.
And here's the deal. I've seen a lot of movies.
Yeah,
if there's one thing that I will say, I've seen way too many movies. I just don't remember them.
What's your era? Are you like
So comedy-wise, there's right? Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
There's what's the new
Hot
Nacho
Rod,
Libre.
Nacho Libre, yeah.
I was a Hot Rod kind of guy.
Hot Rod, yeah.
Hot Rod. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny. It's a good one.
Heart of a Bottlenose Dolphin.
Yeah. Why do you say what way? Is that from that movie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all right.
Why are you saying it there? What way?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's so good. This is taking me back. I haven't watched it in years.
We used to go to the movie theater all the time back in the day. I don't do as much anymore, but when I was in high school, early college, my buddy and I, we would always go see movies all the time. My friend Vince, it was just like,
it was the thing to
nothing
do.
going on. Like, let's go see a movie. Like we just go down there and see whatever's showing next. Let's go see it.
Yes.
Like just enjoyed movies, So I kept the physical ticket from every movie I went to for like years and years.
Word.
I threw it away at some point in the purge, but I mean, I probably saw a couple hundred movies in the theater,
Have you ever think about how much money that is?
I don't like to think about those things.
I don't like to.
If I would have only invested that money in a low-cost index fund and let it compound in interest.
Hey, have you ever seen a double showing? Have you
No.
ever seen two in a row?
No.
Okay, one time, me and my buddies, this was like probably 3 years ago.
Yeah.
We went and saw a movie. We were really excited about it. It was absolutely terrible.
Really?
It was so bad. We walked out of the theater being like, I just cannot even believe it was so bad. And we had, I'm kind of at that age where like we have to go see a movie like 8 p.m. or later so that my kids are in bed, wife's in bed, And so at that point in time, we got out of the movie theater at like, I don't know, 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And it was like, everyone's already asleep. And so we all looked at each other. We're like, you just want to like cleanse our palate and go see a better movie. Like we don't even know if this one's going to be better, but let's just go see it. So double showing is the only time I've ever done it.
What were the movies? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
No, then they weren't that good.
No, actually, we remember thinking the second one was so good.
Yeah.
And so
That's the key to life is low expectations.
That's when you marriage, dating, relationships. No,
I ain't saying it.
I will say there is a beautiful thing to. I don't even know. I can't even remember what we're talking about today. But there is something beautiful about, like having the correct expectation. So
true.
like, it's like if you go in thinking that you're going to be drinking tea and it's actually milk inside there, it's like the most disgusting thing ever because you weren't expecting that. Milk's not the most disgusting thing ever, but some would say that. But it's just like when you go in expecting something, you don't get that. You're all of a sudden like, you're disappointed.
Yeah.
That is a life lesson right there.
Sometimes you go into like a movie expecting it to be like, oh, it's going to be a terrible plot, but it's going to be awesome explosions, great battle scenes, whatever.
Yes.
And you get what you paid for.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I don't like Marvel movies. Okay, because
I'm not a big Marvel guy.
I don't like going in knowing what I'm going to expect. Like I already know the plot. Like good guy wins in the end.
Yes.
Or like, oh my word, did he die? No, he didn't die. The movie's about him. He's on the cover.
He always comes back.
He didn't die. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that.
There's just not enough plot for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe, hey, you know what? Maybe I just haven't seen the right one. Maybe Ant-Man 2 is it. Maybe that's the movie I need to see. I don't know. Like they all just feel the same to me. I don't know. And if there's a second movie, I just assume they survived in the first. So
Hey, Toy Story 5 is out right now.
okay, I have seen that.
Have you?
Holds up.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was great. It was not the worst Toy Story.
What's the worst?
Probably for me, number 2.
I'd have to go back and check them.
That's where like Jesse and spoiler alert if you haven't seen Toy Story 2. from like 99. I don't remember when it
sounds
came
like
out.
our audience. Our audience
But
has really got that next to the
spoiler
list.
alert. That's where Jesse and Bullseye get introduced. Buzz finds out that Zurg is his dad.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. During COVID,
Zurg is my dad?
This is a bad parenting thing, but like during COVID, we Beckham, was at home. He was probably I don't know. He would have been like 2 or 3 or something like that. And there were days where he'd go an entire day and he'd watch all 4 Toy Stories.
Yeah.
That were out, or all 3, however many were out. 3,
Yeah.
I think. We just the shame was
COVID?
heavy.
I'm not
Shame
mad
was
at
heavy.
it. I'm not mad at it, especially in the wintertime.
Dude,
Because summertime of COVID is actually pretty chill.
Yes, it would go
like
for
summer
walks,
2020.
you got the space, but when
everyone was like, "Hey, let's social
inside.
distance. We're in this together."
Yeah.
It was like all good.
Yep.
For like 4 months.
I will say, good thing it came out of that. I learned how to use Zoom really, really well.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
gosh.
pretty against. Well, I wouldn't say against it. It's just like now, man, Zoom it optimizes your life. You don't have to
does.
drive to somebody. It's so great.
I do that now with people. Even people in town. I'm like, hey, if you want to meet with me in person, I can get lunch like 3 weeks from now, or I can hop on a FaceTime or a Zoom in 20 minutes.
Yes.
And I'll give you 30 minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Here's the deal. That's the beautiful part about technology. Okay. Here's the scary part about technology is something that's supposed to help connect you can end up controlling you.
That'll preach.
Thank you. I'm a big, I have found that I'm a big either rhymer or alliteration guy.
You are. And it comes very naturally to you as well.
Yeah.
Like it flows right out of you.
It does. Well, it flows off the tongue easier. So that's why it's almost like me use brain more so that I use my mouth less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's it works. So like I'll say something and you'll be like, yeah, kind of like this. And it's like a 4-word like catchy phrase. I'm like, oh God, why didn't I think of that?
Everything's recycled, my friend.
Well,
I think it's one of those.
Hey, but it's new to me, so enjoy it while it lasts.
There you go.
Like,
Steal from one, that's plagiarism. Steal from all, that's research, baby.
Come on.
So that's you just combine it all in. It's
Yeah.
all the movies I watched.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. It's just all 4
You're
movies
quoting
together.
Zurg from Toy Story 2 mid-sermon.
No, you know what? That's you. You are it pops up, I'm going to say it. I'll go on a tangent, but not like in that direction.
Yeah.
I'll probably, I don't remember exactly what I'll go on tangents on, but like you are somebody who's like, man, if something catches your eye, you're saying it. I
And
feel like I'm kind of,
sometimes to my own detriment.
no, I like it. It's very real. It's like, I know exactly who this guy is, right? Very early on. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Like what you see is what you get. It's great. I'm probably more, I don't want to say scripted, but I'm more
You're more calculated.
Like, yeah, I created this outline. My problem is I'm too scared to veer too far off of it. And then I'm like, this ain't even gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Because there's a fear that this only makes sense in my head. And so, I want to try to communicate it with as much clarity as possible.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I go through weekends where like you'll hear my same sermon 3 times, then when you speak, I hear your sermon 3 times.
yeah.
All 3 of yours are almost exactly the same. Cadence,
I've downloaded
word.
it into my head.
I don't know how your brain does it.
This is how it needs to go. And like, but
you remember it.
because it's the only way I can remember it is if it's like I've memorized. Like, yeah, I've ran it, I've memorized it in a certain way. I'm like, this is how I got to give it.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, if it wasn't memorized, I was just going up there firing from the hip. Like you're right, it'd be different every time.
It's truly impressive. Like, I will listen to it. I'm like, that's like literally this. I can't do it the same way twice.
I am a robot.
Well, yeah, but it's like, but even like your cadence and everything, like you really like, it's like you've got it down to it's impressive. Our brains function differently.
I think that's it, right? And that is the thing too. Like it is really hard to give feedback to someone who speaks very differently than you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, what I would do is different than what you would do, and vice versa. And so over the years, I've had so many people, whether it's young adults or Republic or Springfield, they just communicated differently than I have. And you're really trying to pull out those principles, not necessarily a formula for how to do it. Because you're right, everyone's brain processes, everyone's brain sometimes. Like if I write out a story, and this is how I'm going to tell the story, it's how I tell the story. Other people will just write story, and when they run it for me, it's 3 minutes, and then when they do it during a service, it's 8. And it's like, oh, whoa, how did that happen?
That's my problem.
There you go.
That is my problem. Yeah, I'm like trying to like cut time, and it's like I cut stuff out of my notes, but somehow this time stays the same. Yeah, I just riff into more stuff.
Yeah, I think the beautiful thing about that though is connection over content. It's hey, the content will get there, but the connection is what's important. I want to look you in the eye. I want to tell your story. I want to talk about your story. You're very passionate about that, which I think is important. Because that is who you are. You're like, hey, there's nothing, you've said this many times. It's like, there's nothing more important about me on a stage. The gold is in the seats. The gold is in the seats. Always, the gold is in the seats. So even past few weekends, I've noticed that's one of the things I admire about you is you're pulling out different people's stories that you've heard this week. And like, I think there's something beautiful about that because nobody wants to be a part. I don't know if I'd say that way, but there are very few things I want to be a part of that are just sterile, too big. Hey, I'm just a cog in the wheel. You're too big to know my name and my story. I don't really matter. There's something beautiful about being like, I'm learning from you as you're learning from me. Like we're doing this thing together. This thing cannot exist without all of us working our part. It's the body part verse, right?
Totally.
And you know, we all play different parts of the body. And I'd like to think I'm the heart. I'd like to think that. Lungs, maybe. Big, deep breath. But what would you say you are?
I don't know. I just said elbow came to mind, but I don't know why.
But yeah, I mean, it can take a hit.
Sure can. You know.
Not that hard, but.
No, I am passionate about that. I think like, I want us to collectively go on a journey together, you know, and like, I want to tell our story, you know, I don't want to be a representative of North Point, but not the focal point of North Point. You know, it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I think about there's people's stories in the seats that always get me excited. You know, I'm like, oh, wow. Because I think the new thing for me too is like the last, like, you know, it's been 7 months now, but like the more people I meet, the more I'm like, man, there's so many incredible people here. And like hearing their stories and what they've gone through and what they're doing. And like, for some people, they're in the middle of heartache. Other people, they've conquered that mountain, and like the stories of restoration and hope that are just sitting there every Sunday. And I'm like, man, like I want to make the people of North Point the famous thing. You know what I mean? I think the era of like the celebrity preacher thing is like on its way out. I think that they'll still exist, but I just think that because of how many of them have fallen, messed up, and just like the general distrust. Like I think people are looking for real and authentic, and so people want to connect with the connection over content thing.
Yeah, it's more than building around a person or a personality.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's one thing that North Point's done for a long time really well is building around mission and like what's the mission, what are we doing, you know? And I want to carry that forward as we continue to move forward. I think for me the thing that I love the most is just the people in the church and the value that I see that they bring to the table, and I want to figure out ways to unlock that value, you know. That to me, I don't even know how to do that.
Well, I picture it as like helping my kid ride a bike. Like my kid's not impressed that I can ride a bike really well. Like the goal is like he wants to ride the bike.
Yeah.
And so the fun was actually just guiding and nudging, and I didn't kick him off and pedal and be like, see, this is how you do it, and see how good I am at it.
Yeah.
Like no one is impressed with that. People excel when someone believes in them. People excel when people take the time to hear their story, to help them through their story. That's what I think is the beautiful part is like none of us are this professional Christian out here. We're all just one person helping another person. It's like, hey, I learned how to ride this bike. Hey, come on over. And what I'll do is I'll nudge, I'll guide, and then I'm giving you a push. And it's all you. You're going, right? Yeah. And once they are going, there's not a lot you can do. It's like, it's their life. They're rolling.
Yeah. I think like any great teacher, you just go back to it. Think about teachers in the school. Like the best ones are the ones who light up the most when the student learns. You know what I mean? Or it's like when they see, you're implementing the thing. You know, I think that's like the thing that's got to like, a great tea's their pride is their student. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like my son learned to play piano, and the lady that taught him was a sweet lady who lived like a couple neighborhoods over. I can't remember how we met her, but she was a pastor's wife at the small church for 30 something years, and now she teaches kids music lessons in her house, and we'd go over to their house and he'd do his music lesson. And like when she came she came and saw him play piano one time at like publicly. I mean, that was more joy from her than from him. You know what I mean? It was just like, she's watching him get up there and all the private lessons that he took in her house. And she just took the time to like teach him. He was 6, 7, 8 years old, you know? And even now, Kristen will like, if he's playing piano on a Sunday or a Wednesday, she'll record him and send it. And it's like, that like means the world to her. You know, she doesn't want to be on the stage, but the fact that he's on the stage now doing it is like, that's the motivator. And like, I hope North Point becomes that. I mean, I think it already is, but like, no, most churches, I don't know. I feel like we're riffing right now. I think a lot of churches maybe don't necessarily operate like that. I think maybe they want to, but is there a way that we can be like, yeah, let's actually like invest into people, and not just the pastors and the people, but like the people to people. And as a community, could we find our greatest joy in like seeing people connect the dots in their own life and being like, check that out. Look where they were yesterday and look where they're at today.
100%. And there's nothing that bolsters your faith more than getting in the mud with someone else and helping them just take steps. Like, we're doing this together. I do think that's why a lot of people try to build around themselves, because they want to be special. They want to be remembered. They want to do something important. At the same time, who do you remember? The person that helped you. Yeah. That's who I remember.
Right.
I'm like, the people that took a shot on me. We talked about this the other day, of just like the amount of people that took a shot on me before I was ready for anything, that saw something in me before I even saw it in myself. And I'm like, I will literally never forget them.
Yeah. Right.
You don't even know who they are. I will never forget them.
Yeah. I got some no-name people in my life that if I said their name, no one listening to this would have any clue who they were. But it's like, yeah, they took a chance on me. They invested in me. They believed in me, you know. Guy named Jim, T-Mobile, saw something in me before I saw it myself. You know, he was promoting me in this role, and I'm like, are you sure? He's like, no, I'm sure. And he just has a smile on his face. And like, you know, but you know what? Like, I wanted to prove him right, you know, and that was just like life, not like spiritual life. But I do think there's like, as a church, can we be a group of people that invests in people, you know, where we are finding the kid on the training wheels in the neighborhood, you know, by like figuratively, which it might be your coworker, you know, it might be the person across the aisle from your church, where it's like, hey, I actually know how to ride a bike. I can help you take your training wheels off if you want. Like, come over on Tuesday. We'll work on this thing together.
Yeah. And I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll be here till it does.
Yeah.
And I'll nudge and I'll guide. I won't kick you off and ride it for you, but like, you got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we may fall a couple times.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get back up.
Yeah, I just think about, there's just so many people in and around the church that are like North Point that have so much to offer. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing I wake up thinking about. How do I unlock this? How do I make sure that people get everything they can out of the church? Like, the church is meant to be something. It's a community of people, not a club focused on a pastor, not a club focused on programs. Programs exist, but it's a community of people living life together. It's the ecclesia, it's the called out ones, it's the gathered ones, it's a group of people. And like, I think my heart is like, turn the word pastor from a noun or a job title into a verb that we're all allowed to do. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all actually allowed to pastor each other, you know, which is to be a shepherd, which is to help, which is to care for, you know. And so if you can create a community of people, we're like, you know, 1 Peter 2, the priesthood of the believer, you know, what does it mean? And this is probably not totally theologically sound, but it kind of means everyone's a pastor. The way we view pastors today, which is, this super spiritual person. We all have the same
access.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the pastor heard from God, so now we're going to go do that. You know, it's like, I got to come to hear what the pastor said, because he actually can talk to God. And it's like, yes, and my goal is to help you see that you can too. And you can actually be someone's pastor, even if you don't work at a church, you know. Wherever you go, like, you're pastoring. And so if we get people to realize, like, actually, like, that's a role that we all play.
Yeah, walk me through that. What does, like, if you had to put some things, what does being a pastor look like? Like, in my head, it's someone that does not have all the answers, but with new information is okay with changing their mind and will continually take next steps toward Jesus. So, hey, when I find out maybe I've been doing this wrong, boom, I'm going to change my direction and take a next step toward Jesus. It's someone who daily wakes up and takes the next step toward Jesus. That would be my definition of a pastor. I'm curious, what in your head do you see as, hey, we're all called to be a pastor? If we all have the ability to do it, if we all have the same access, What does that look like?
I think the first image that comes to my mind is the shepherd. It's the person who is serving other people, who is guiding other people.
Okay, so being a pastor is not just saying whatever you want and speaking into somebody's life if you don't agree with it.
Right. No, it's like you actually have to care. You have to care about the person.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
So I can't just comment things on Facebook and that's me.
I'm pastoring
be a
you
pastor.
with a stick. Yeah.
With a rod.
Yeah. Your rod and the staff, they comfort me. That's what I think about. I think is about the shepherd, and I think the pastor word is like, hey, I'm taking care of, I'm leading, I'm guiding, I'm protecting, I'm caring for, I'm helping pull them out of a mess when they get there. When one strays, I go find them. I think that's the image I think of is, the person who's like, hey, I got this people I'm taking care of.
Yeah, I'll leave what I'm doing to go help you. Basically, it's the leave the 99 for the one, right? It's the, hey, I know that I've got something good right here. And honestly, what I've got is enough. It's great. At the same time, I don't want to see a single person out there. I think the only thing worse than somebody being lost is being lost with nobody looking for you.
Boom.
And there is not enough people that a pastor can reach when we talk, quote unquote, somebody that speaks on stage with a microphone.
I think that's the thing. Like, one of the things I've learned in the last 7 months stepping into this role is that I underestimated how overwhelming that feeling was going to be. It's crushing. I'm like, there's thousands of people that are like, I can talk to you from the stage, and I will, and what we're doing, like, we'll continue to do that, right? Like, this is part of the model.
If it serves the mission the best, we will do it.
Yes,
absolutely,
totally. Also, I actually really, really care about people. I personally do not have the capacity to care for that many people that need to be cared for. And so when I look at this model of like, well, if the pastor, modern culture has turned, no one wanted to do this, but it just happened, has turned pastor into a job title, which means a professional speaker that we all build around. And a part of being a pastor is you have to be a professional speaker. That's part of it. Also, I really care about people. And you can't effectively care for and shepherd that many people unless you build a shepherding, pastoring mindset, mentality in the hearts of the people. There are so many good, qualified, fantastic people that are like just people loving people that are walking towards Jesus that are like, man, like, so I just think for me, like, part of it, it's like, how do we really care for people well? This isn't just a new program or system I'm thinking of. It's like, we can actually care for people really, really well and help a lot of people in their real day-to-day life by adapting this mentality that everyone's qualified to do what I do.
Yeah, and that's why, honestly, there are bad small churches and there are bad big churches, and there are good small churches and there are good big churches, and they're good, like all the gamut in between, because it has nothing to do with size, it has nothing to do with structure, it has nothing to do with some of those types of things from the outside that you would see, the external parts. It has everything to do with like, what does the shepherding look like?
Yeah,
and the only way a large church can survive. Because I would say, a small church of 20 people with one pastor could work. That person can shepherd those 20 people.
Yeah.
Like, can notice when somebody doesn't show up. And there's, 3,000 to 3,500 people on a weekend. How many do you know did or didn't show up on a weekend?
Yeah.
There's different locations at different times, at different places. That's impossible.
Yeah.
And so, you could get really turned off and be like, well, that's just the mega church and it's gross and it doesn't work. Well, actually, the model is the same no matter where you go.
Right.
It's really equipping and empowering you to go be the pastor in the sphere of influence that you already have.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Go love people really well, and give what you have to give, to people. And I just think it's, people will, there's like the movement. It's like, well, we should all go back to house churches. Okay, well, then you have to wrestle with the Great Commission, right? Of go and make disciples. Well, disciples, go teach, baptize them, make disciples, teach and obey. So then it has to be growing. Well, it outgrows your living room at some point. So then what? Yes, okay, then you got to raise up another leader, right? And then it's like, so then you have like this army of house churches. Well, what happens when you get them all together? Or how do you communicate to all of them? Like, healthy things grow. And so I think
again, that's a form to the Spirit.
Totally.
The Spirit is the important part. The Spirit is the essence. The Spirit is the, like, this is why we do what we do. The form is just a structure on how to do it. But the Spirit is, we all have the same access. The Spirit is, like, we all have an opportunity to give good news to our neighbors that need it, that haven't heard good news for years.
Yeah.
And this is our opportunity to do it. And you're the person to go do it.
Yeah. And
that should fire you up.
And you can scale it that way too, in a sense where it's like organizationally we can be a lot more responsible, you know? And so I think, I really like get fired up on this subject, because it's like, you know, even, coming to and work into this role, in some ways it feels very different from what I was doing, but in a lot of ways it really doesn't, because I was pastoring people before this. I really was, you know. I was talking to my brother a few weeks ago. He's like, "Yeah, man, this is not too like this is kind of in line with who you are, you know." And so, I just feel a push and a call to be like, "Hey, we could change a city, man. You could change a city really easily." And if God's gonna do something unique in our community, which I'm believing He will, and that He can, and He wants to, I think North Point's a great vehicle to do it through, you know, and do it with, you know, and so. Building the mentality of like, all right, strengthening the nets. Like, you know, I've asked the staff this, hey, if 1,000 people came to Jesus in the next year, would we have the capacity for them? Our buildings do, but do our systems and do like, are we, you know what I mean? Are we ready for that? Because I don't think that I can just, you know, you can try to go manufacture church growth. I get all these targeted ads now for these gross church growth.
Yeah. How do you break the 3,000 barrier? How do you go from this to that? You know, and it's this system, this hire, this structure. And I believe, you know, Jesus came to, you know, take away your sin, not your brain. So let's use it. That's important.
What if God just did something? What if God just began to draw people towards Him? You know, like you read about some of these historical movements where like God just drew people towards Him. Like this is my dad's story. I got to bring him in for the Riff one time. My dad got saved. Like he was driving a bread truck by himself. He was not in a church. He would just say, "Hey, felt the presence of God come on me." He was like, I was kind of stoned at the time. So like I went home and like sobered up and it happened again. But he's like, God just got a hold of me. He's like, I can't explain it. He's like, I knew it was God. I didn't have a Bible. I didn't know anything about anything, but God got me. Like He just grabbed me out of, you know. And so like if that happened again, like, and a bunch of people just start showing up in church because they're hungry for God, do we actually have the mechanisms in the place to be able to sort those folks correctly so that we can adequately teach them what they need to know, you know? So I think like the answer is like you could always do more. There's a lot we do have, but I think that's where I'm like passionate of just like, I want to be a good steward of what God's given us, you know? And I didn't have pastor dust sprinkled on me overnight before I came here. Like I really just, you know, I'm like, no, I'm gonna love people well. But if you can get a few thousand people to approach their workplace, their school like that, with that mentality, if I'm here to make a difference and love these people, like what we were talking about last week, right? I'm gonna love God with everything I've got, and I'm gonna love my neighbors myself, you know, and begin to care for, shepherd, pastor these people well. Don't leave it to the paid professionals who happen to get a paycheck from the church. Like go love people really well, and then open up your life to what, you know, and your capacity, your hands, your heart to people. You never know how God might use you to reach somebody else. So
you were talking about the only thing worse than going to heaven is, not worse than going to heaven, but what's even better than going to heaven is a pile of people following you there. Like there's something beautiful about that. And you were talking the other day about some stats on Springfield. It just reached, what's the population?
I think it's 500,000. It's 500,000.
The metro area just kind of reached it.
Yeah.
And you said how many of those are, you'd say like unchurched?
I can't remember. It was like 52 it was more than that, but it was like 52% had no church affiliation, I think.
Like if you were to say, hey, where are you going to go this Easter to church? They're like, I don't know.
That's a Jeremy Johnsonism.
Okay.
I got that from him. But yeah, it's like 52% of people know where they're going to go on Easter. Or 48, one of those two, where it's like, you know, like, it's kind of where I go.
It's pretty half and half.
Yeah. And so like every other person you see has no context for God, no understanding of Jesus, no affiliation to any kind of Jesus-centered community at all, or maybe no understanding of who Jesus is, or maybe they got a really warped view of it.
Yes.
You know, and it just might be the way that you treat them is be the things that gets them curious and interested. But
absolutely, there will be so many people that will never step foot into a church.
Yeah,
and they will come in contact with you though.
Yeah,
and that's the like preach the gospel at all times, type of deal. Those are those moments, and you never know the moment you're going to get. And it is interesting. Like you almost don't take it seriously until it's someone that you seriously know needs this. Like it is interesting when like your family, like when it's a family member who needs it, when it's someone on their deathbed, when it's somebody, and there is that heightened sense of like, oh man, God, do you want to use me in some sort of way? But what if we woke up every day and we were like, God, do you want to use me? There's something I feel like God can do, where if you just, when you feel like he's speaking to me, you just obey. Like there's something unique about that. I think is helpful.
Yeah. And I agree. And just being available and then connecting people to people is the other thing I keep thinking about. Is like, who do I know that they need to know? Who do I know that like could speak to this person? Like love the person well, but like people going through things in their life. A lot of times you may not be the best person to walk them through it, but you probably know the person that does,
And even if you are, you don't want to be the only person.
Yeah. So pulling in the community. Yeah.
Hostess with the mostest. Connecting with those around you. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Host with the
You
most.
said it. I don't know. You said it the way it's now it's speaking. I hate this.
We actually had a subject coming into this riff and we didn't even touch it at all.
No.
Hit it next week.
Yeah, whatever. So, hey, go be a pastor. I'm excited to see what stories come when you are just obedient to what God's put in your heart.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Riff. We'll have a brand new episode every week, wherever you find podcasts.